Hey guys, it's me, Storms Bunnies, and welcome to a GT Online tips and tricks videos on service vehicles. Not videos, video, sorry. So I recently watched a video that Pubarama actually covered about having two service vehicles out at the same time. So how this works is you must have your terabyte stored in the garment factory is right here. If you don't have the garment factory and you don't have it stored in here, you can't do this. Okay, so that's what one of the requirements are for doing this method. Okay, let's get straight into it. So what Pubarama doesn't tell you is that this actually works with all service vehicles, not just the Acid Lab. So here we go. We're going to call in the Acid Lab through the quick menu. Request your Acid Lab. Okay, that's step one of doing this. It should spawn in around here somewhere. Okay, take note it's spawned in just up the road over here. Okay, just the next part of doing this is really simple. You just got to go over to your blue marker, preferably this one over here. You enter into the garment factory and you choose first floor. Okay, very simple. All right, all you got to do now is jump into Terabyte, and you can still see the Acid Lab is still spawned in on the map. And you hold R2. It is that simple. You have got, therefore, the Terabyte and the Acid Lab spawned in at the exact same time. Normally, when you go to choose another service vehicle, it'll say you cannot spawn in excuse me, the Avenger because you have the Acid Lab active, or you cannot spawn in the Mobile Operations Center because you have the Terabyte active. So to prove that it works on all the others, let's jump out of here for a second. Okay, and let's return these service vehicles. Service vehicles, Terabyte, return to garment factory. Make sure it always goes back there. Service vehicles, nope. Acid Lab, return Acid Lab to storage. So while we're waiting, let's request the oppressor so we can go back to the garment factory real quick. Okay, let's call in the Kasaka. Request it. There it is. Kasaka's somewhere over that way, somewhere in the ocean. You can see it's over there. Let's go get the Terabyte. Whoops. Nearly fell off, didn't I? Okay, same as before. Go into here. Walk in. You can still see the Kasaka is actually active on the map. It is the same as the Acid Lab. Okay, this works for what's the plane? Is it the Avenger? I think. Yep, this works for the Avenger. It works for the Mobile Operations Center. It works for the Acid Lab. And what you don't also realize too is really we have not one, not two, but 3 service vehicles on the map. Yes, that's right. 3 service vehicles. We have the Terabyte, we have the Kasaka, which is over here, and we also have the Super Yacht, if you own a super yacht. Okay, so again, this only works if you own the garment factory, which is this building over here. It's only about I think it's 2 million or something like that, 2.4 million. I'm not exactly too sure on it because I've since purchased it. Okay, so it does cost you a little bit to buy that, and then you've got to actually own things like the Terabyte, the Kasaka, the Mobile Operations Center, and the Avenger. Okay, let's see if it actually works on the Mobile Operations Center and the Avenger. So let's return the Kasaka. Okay, let's return Terabyte. Now let's call in the Mobile Operations Center when it's ready. Let's having a think about it for a minute. Okay, you just gotta wait a few seconds, that's all. It's about 25 to 30 seconds. So we call in the Mobile Operations Center. Okay. There it is, it's spawned in over the map over there. You know, about a mile away or something like that. And let's see if it actually allows us to have the terabyte out. I'm pretty confident it will. But I want to show you guys that this is actually working. Okay, so this does not just work with the Acid Lab, this works with all service vehicles. Okay, all service vehicles. The only thing you've got to take note of is this. Is you can have the terabyte out, right? But the other service vehicles, you have to pick which one you want out. You can't just have the Acid Lab and the Mobile Operations Center out. Okay, so that's the catch-20 with this. You can definitely have the terabyte out and one of the other few service vehicles, but you can't have the Acid Lab out and the Avenger, or the Acid Lab and the Mobile Operations Center, or the Acid Lab and the Kasaka and so forth. Okay, you can have the Acid Lab and the yacht out, or the Mobile Operations Center and the yacht out, or the Avenger, but that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's return terabyte back to storage. Starting to get a little bit mixed up now with all these service vehicles out. Okay, service vehicles, return Mobile Operations Center to storage. Okay, alright, let's request, what was the last one? The Avenger, was it? Service vehicles, Avenger. I see, it still thinks the Mobile Operations Center is active for a few seconds. Yeah, there we go. Call that in. There it is. It's over there somewhere. Oh, it's just behind the garment factory down there. My dog's a little bit chirpy this afternoon, probably because the neighbour's kids are out and about. Okay, you can still see the Avenger on the map. Jump in. And exit, and look at that, it works. Okay, the one thing you need to know is if you go back into the facility, the hangar, the bunker, or the freak shop, okay, you run the risk of you run the risk of having one of your vehicles despawn on you, returned to storage. Okay, one of your vehicles will be most likely returned to storage. I'm not too sure which would get returned to storage, and in a second we're going to go find out. So let's go to the facility. The facility is not too far away from me. Okay. I think it's over here still. Yeah, it's over here. So this is definitely a great little hack to have you know, multiple service vehicles out, so you can check on your Acid Lab percentage while it's active. You know, just call Mutt and see the Acid Lab and go, oh yeah, okay, I'll still supplies or buy them, whichever you choose to do. Okay, there's no right or wrong way about that. Personally, I just buy supplies. Okay, that's up to you how you do it. If you got no money, I get it, you know, go steal the supplies. Okay, I do the same thing. Right, let's see what happens when we go into the facility. I expect if not one or both of my current service vehicles to be returned. I'd say the Terabyte because I'm not too sure where my Avenger is actually currently stored. Normally you get a notification in the top left hand corner. I haven't actually tested this yet, so we'll see what happens. Okay, well, that's a little weird. It hasn't returned... Oh, hang on. The Terabyte got returned to storage. It hasn't told me. I'm pretty certain it didn't tell me. Let's go to the info notifications. No, it tells you it got returned to storage when I returned it. But nothing in here. That's strange. Okay. So maybe you don't get a notification? I'm not too sure. Let's go back out and see if it's actually on the map. See, it may bug out and not show it on the map while you're in there. See, I don't really know this sort of stuff, you know. Aha, there you go. So, what it does is, if you go to the facility, it will keep the Terabyte. It'll hide the Terabyte, but once you exit, it'll show the Terabyte on the map. Let's go see what happens when we go to the Frig shop. It's only just around the corner. Let's go see. Because my Acid Lab's in there. Maybe it will return one of them to storage because my Acid Lab is actually in the active storage. Let's go find out. There it is, over there. So, again, this is a shout out to, you know, Pubarama and the person who actually discovered this. I don't know who that person was, but Pubarama was one of the first to document you know, that this actually is possible. I didn't know until Pubarama actually made a video, but here I am expanding on his video and showing that it doesn't just work with the Terabyte and the Acid Lab, it works with the Terabyte and any service vehicle you'd like. Let's see what happens when we go in here. I expect one to be returned to storage because the Acid Lab's in here. Let's see. Okay, so the Avenger got returned to storage.
What's up?
Yes. So there you go. What happens is if you have the Terabyte and the Avenger out, or the Terabyte and the Kasaka out, and you enter a building with a service vehicle in it, such as the Acid Lab, it'll return the two vehicles, both of them at the exact same time, get returned to the respective storage units. Okay, so that is what you need to know with these tips and tricks for having two service vehicles out at the same time. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up, guys. If you like this kind of content, always like and subscribe. Okay, the reason why I made the video on this today was not to get a one-up on Pubarama. Okay, I don't care about views or whatever. Okay, I don't have many subscribers. I'm just explaining that this does not work with just the Terabyte and the Acid Lab. This works with all service vehicles and the Terabyte. So you can only have the Terabyte and a service vehicle of your choice. Okay, if I find any other methods where you can have any other service vehicles out, I'll be sure to make a video. But as always, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.